Kongo Kong, how you doing, brother?
I'm not too bad. How are you guys?
Good, pretty good. We just talked to your opponent at Heroes and Legends Wrestling number 4. We just got off the phone with Gangrel. He will be
Nice.
facing the one and only Kongo Kong Saturday, September 13th at the Fort Wayne Fun Dome, 2 o'clock p.m. As Zane said, if you're anywhere remotely close to the area, this is a can't miss event. Kongo Kong, what do you think about having to get in the ring with somebody of the likes of Gangrel?
I'm excited about it. I'm excited, one, because he's somebody that I grew up watching. Two, because I watched him wrestle last year, and he can still go. He's not like a lot of the guys that are still trying to wrestle. He can actually still wrestle. So looking
Correct me if
forward to
I'm
that.
wrong, and I may be. Is Osiris officially gone now?
No,
I
absolutely
thought
not.
I saw a farewell to Osiris or something.
At Strong Style Wrestling, yeah.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, they wanted
Now
they
we got
wanted me
it.
to make the switch, and I figured I'd do it in grand fashion. So, and really, if it happens like that everywhere, then I plan to do that. I plan to say my thank yous to the fans for all the years that they've loved me and supported me as Osiris.
Well, and it's funny because the last time that you were on this show, we talked about the possibility of you being both characters on a show.
Yeah, you did. We did. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was very cool when we got to see that. Um, you know, for all of our listeners that aren't super familiar with you, they need to go first off to your Facebook page, which if you type in Kongo Kong, it'll pop up for them.
Right.
You recently won the IWA Mid-South Championship.
Yes.
This week in the Indie Power Rankings, you are number 3, which you should be number 1, but there's a couple guys that are in Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling that for some reason are ahead of you.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'd rather it be them this week than some other guys that I really didn't know, I guess.
Well,
I've
that's
been
true.
number 3 like 4 weeks in a row or something like that, so I'll take that.
So,
At least I'm consistent.
if you're not on the Kongo Kong Osiris ship yet, you need to jump on because this guy's going places. Since the last time that we've talked with you, what have been some of your crazy adventures in the world of independent pro wrestling?
Uh, let's see. Last time I talked to you, I believe I was in Newfoundland, actually.
Yeah.
You were in Newfoundland.
Yeah, like you said, won the IWA strap, which was pretty awesome. It officially puts me on the list of actual world champions. A lot of feds, they have, their belts and they call them world championships, but not too many of them actually been defended around the world. And IWA being the place that it is, I was the first champ in 5 years, something like that. And,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just, it's a crazy, stupid honor. I kind of feel the way I've been describing it to people is like, okay, Optimus Prime is a Transformer, but like he's better than the rest of the Transformers. Like he's part of an elite group, the Primes. And so I feel like I'm one of the Primes
I love it.
for all you nerds out there. And since then I've been
So let me
traveling.
guess. You're going to start a third character and be an Autobot, right?
Hey, you know what? If I can figure out how to make the gear for it, absolutely.
So if you're Optimus Prime, does that make Mark Vandy like Bumblebee?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So what else have you been? That is a huge accomplishment. And you're the reigning IWA Mid-South champion, correct?
Yes.
And
Yep.
you've also done some more stuff with Juggalos in the last couple months. What else? What other adventures have you had?
Oh yeah, I got to compete at my fourth gathering of the Juggalos. I wrestled Necro Butcher in a steel cage.
Oh, one of our favorites.
He's my
We
favorite
had him
too.
on a few months ago, by the way, Mr. Kong.
I love that guy. He's such a witty individual when he's not punching me in the face. Friday, I competed for Can-Am Rising, which is, sort of an offshoot of Border City Championship Wrestling or Border City Wrestling, in Windsor, Ontario. So that was pretty cool. Got to wrestle a guy by the name of Psycho Mike Rollins, who is somebody that everybody needs to be looking out for because the kid he's talented. He has the look, charisma, everything. He's pretty cool and he's a fun guy to work with.
So we
Other
just
than that,
celebrated your birthday for you a few weeks ago, didn't we?
oh yeah. Yep. 35 years old.
Oh, you're long in the tooth. So Fort Wayne obviously coming up. You've got Gangrel, Heroes and Legends. You were at number 3. We got to meet you there. What is the big deal about this event? Why should people come to this? What kick do you get out of it?
Why wouldn't you come to this? You get to see people that you don't get to see on everyday indie shows. Like, I can't remember the last time that I saw Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff advertised anywhere on an indie show. Hillbilly Jim, like the list is long and ridiculous and endless pretty much. And you get to see all these people all under one roof and they're all so approachable and you can talk to them and they're just there. And then you get to see all the stars of today and tomorrow, I guess. And it's just an all day family fun event. And why would you not take advantage of this?
When you're sitting at your table this time, if I'm not mistaken, last time around you kind of had your normal look. You didn't have your wrestling look on. Are you going to dress as Kongo Kong this time?
Yeah, I think I will. That's one thing I haven't tried. And the reason I do that is because it's easier to interact with the fans because Kong doesn't talk. So, if I go out there as Steve Wilson, then I can talk to the fans, talk to them about Kongo Kong and not be all awkward. But at the same time, I think the face paint is an attraction for me.
Right.
So, I'm going to try it this time, see if it works, see if it helps.
Do you need Rick to
just try not to scare the children, okay?
Nah, that comes with the territory.
What were you saying, Zane? I'm sorry.
I was just wondering if he needed a translator, if one of us needed to help him out at his table.
We could be Kim Chi for you.
Hey, that would work.
Kamala can have somebody so can Kongo Kong.
Usually I'd have one of my buddies there, sitting with me, talking with me, or one of the trainees or whatever. Like in Windsor, I had one of my trainees kind of guard my table for me. And if nobody's there and you guys want to help me out, I'll be perfectly fine with that.
Well, we'll definitely be there too. So obviously we were talking about meeting all the legends, but the wrestling event in the night is nothing to shake your head at either. I mean, even if there wasn't a fan fest, it's worth it just to see the card.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, hey, Rick, do you mind if I run down the card? Because I did have a question.
Oh, please do. Go ahead, Zane.
So as I'm doing a promo for the card, the actual wrestling card that night, I want you to think of, other than your match versus Gangrel, what match you're looking forward to the most. So we've got Juvi Guerrero, the Juice, versus Bolt Brady. Got a 4-way dance, Anthony Totali versus Brian Defiance versus Roderick Street, or Officer Roderick Street, and versus Eli McFly, who's a great kid. We've got your guy, Mark Vandy, versus Savio Vega. We've got Hardcore Holly versus Karn Alexander, and he'll have his sister Kinsey with him. Tracy Smothers, who is just crazy and we love him, versus Sugar Dunkerton, who is crazy and we love him too. And we've got the BWO, which is everybody knows it's Hollywood Nova, the Blue Meanie, and Dancing Stevie Richards, versus the Heroes and Legends Wrestling Tag Team Champions Jake Oman and Scotty Young, and then their partner for the trio will be Top Rope Troy Miller, and the beautiful Miss Eliz will be making her return. A match I'm really looking forward to, Tommy Dreamer versus Big Russ Jones, which he's another guy that our listeners need to know about. And then for the Heroes and Legends Wrestling Championship, we've got Carlito or also known as Carly Colon Jr., versus the Heroes and Legends Wrestling Champion, Drew Skills. Now, I just said a mouthful. Did you have time to properly digest of which match you're looking forward to the most other than your own?
Yeah. Actually, the championship match should be interesting. I think, Drew up to this point has, been able to control the pace and slow everything down for his opponents and, capitalize on that. However, I think Carlito's going to bring him something different. And, if he's not careful, his win may mess him up in this match. And then, the match I'd say I'm looking forward to is, Juventud Guerrero. I haven't seen him wrestle recently, but if he can still go, I know Bolt Brady can still go because I wrestled him about a month ago in Tennessee. And the kid is an athlete and a half.
Well, that's one of the things that I love so much about Heroes and Legends Wrestling. It's not just a bunch of legends coming and doing autograph signings, which is amazing. Last time we had a chance to talk with Bobby the Brain Heenan. This time they're bringing in Mean Gene Okerlund, but they're also got great wrestlers on the card. I just named off a bunch of legends that can still go and a bunch of young guys that you guys need to keep your eyes on. I had a chance to meet Eli McFly last year, and I'm so glad that he's going to be on again. It's a great card, and it's a great event.
Absolutely.
My question for you: Are you going to bring the Kongo Kong shirts with you?
Yeah.
I hope so, because that's a cool design. For those who don't know, Kongo also makes wrestling outfits and stuff. Did you actually design the shirt as well?
I did. Yeah. There's a guy from Warsaw, Indiana, who works with the local fed up there, Functified Wrestling Federation, and he cuts the guys great deals on shirts, and I believe he's going to be there selling shirts, but I'm gonna try to get him to not sell my shirt so I can sell my shirt. Um, uh, and yeah, it was just a matter of me coming up with a design. Like, I feel like I'm represented the best if I come up with something that represents me, I guess. And, I found a picture and I was able to manipulate it to a point where it would be, workable on a t-shirt and, added the colors, and man, it turned out to me great. Like, I could wear that shirt 5 days a week.
It's awesome. Do you have plans for other designs as well, or just sticking to this one for a while, or what's the
For now, yeah.
long-term plan, I guess, for you?
For now, this would be the one. I have a buddy, in Chicago, who used to wrestle under the name Cyanide, who is trying to get me a different design that would work on a t-shirt that would look more like a Marvel comic, which would be incredible. Could you imagine Kong as a Marvel comic?
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So, once that actually comes to pass, then we'll pursue that. But for now, I think this Kong t-shirt, I need to try to get out there, try to sell it as much as possible yeah, the guy gets his end of the deal fulfilled, and then, I can make a little extra cash off of it myself.
Last time we had you on here, we were talking about, the development of Kongo Kong and how you were still doing the kind of split personalities thing. Obviously, Osiris in some territories, and then Kongo in the other. How has Kongo changed your life, your wrestling life, I guess?
Uh, well, I guess he's definitely put more money in my pocket. Gave me all kinds of exposure. Like, it's crazy just, listening to some of the feedback that I get from the fans, and I'm floored that, so many people think so highly of me, and it is, I don't know, it's just an amazing thing, all over Canada, I get messages from all over Canada, actually all over the world. People added me on Facebook, and if you'd asked me 6 years ago, if I'd ever consider doing face paint again, because originally Osiris was a face paint character. But I was young and really didn't know what all I wanted to do just yet. But if you'd asked me if I would ever don the face paint again, I'd tell you no. Why would I do that when we live in an age where gimmicks are no longer, really a part of wrestling? And, just from then to now, like the way Kong has changed my perspective. When I first started, I hated doing it. It's one of those, it was meant to be one of those savage gimmicks where I was just a big dumb savage and whatever, but it turned into so much more, and it's crazy because now I'm not just a savage. I'm a monster savage who's intelligent, and that escapes the stereotype, and there's a lot of mini Kamalas out there. But I'd like to think that I'm pretty much one of a kind, and people are noticing that, and the face paint or whatever, the gimmick, the character, however, you want to portray it, it's getting out there, and it's taking hold, and like people notice it, and I'm grateful, and I'm enjoying the ride.
Steve, don't you think the gimmicks are starting to go over again?
They are. They absolutely are.
I really think that. You look at all the Bray Wyatts of the world, now the Rusevs, all these gimmicky characters are starting to come back, and they're starting to be in style and vogue again.
I would like to think I started that.
I would like to think you did too.
I know for sure that I started the Savage movement because there were no Savages until I started doing JCW, and then all of a sudden, like I can think of like 5 or 6 in the Midwest alone that have popped up.
What's it like doing that Juggalo show?
Sometimes
you hear from guys like Madman Pondo who just says they just can't fathom. Every year it just seems to get crazier and crazier. But you said this is your 4th, right?
Yep.
The Gathering.
Fourth Gathering. It went from getting hit in the head with all sorts of lighters and drinks and every flavor of Faygo there is and all kinds of stuff to now it's actually kind of cool because they recognize me and they know that I'm even though I'm not a juggalo per se, they know I'm part of their movement, and they respect that, and I feel like they respect my work, I guess, because they I'm still a heel there, but they cheer me, so it's crazy. I walked through the Gathering this past summer, this summer I should say, and I had a couple people ask me if I was Kong and told me I was their favorite wrestler and their hero even. And yeah, it was just, just a phenomenal thing to go from one extreme to the opposite extreme, I guess.
You said you were getting pelted with lighters. What if Kongo Kong was a Foo Fighter? One of the Foo Fighters, you got pelted with Skittles. What would Kongo Kong do?
Probably go to a diabetic coma.
Oh, ZP, what do you got for Kongo?
Well, I'm gonna assume that when you're walking around the Gathering, you're not wearing your face paint, right?
Correct.
So you probably stand out for not wearing paint there. So aren't most of those people, most of the juggalos, painted up in their own little characters?
Yeah, if they're not painted up, they're probably naked or some form of naked or something like that.
And were you around Colt Cabana at all during the Gathering?
Mostly just in the locker room.
Okay, because I've just heard him on his show talking about some of the craziness, and I could see you being accepted by the Juggalos just because of your size and your people know who you are versus Colt Cabana, who us wrestling fans obviously know who he is, and he also plays a heel there too. So I just think it'd be funny to follow him around to see what reactions he gets.
Yeah, but they're I think they know the shtick, but they go along with it and still have a good time.
So for our listeners that might not have heard the last show that you were on, they need to go back and listen to it. But can you keep us up to date on the Juggernaut gear by Osiris?
What are you looking for, like websites and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, just tell our listeners, we do have a lot of independent wrestlers on here that might be looking for great gear. tell them
Oh yeah,
how they can check that out. And
absolutely. I make gear. I make
you
pretty
make
decent
great
gear.
gear. Don't just say
Yeah,
you make gear.
don't
You
cut
make great
yourself
gear. It's
short. You make
awesome.
awesome gear, dude.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, you can find it on my Facebook page, in my photo albums, to get an example, I guess. Hit me up if there's something that you think you might want or might have an idea for a design. I'll do my best to help you. Right now I'm staying pretty busy with it. Seems like whenever I'm not working with wrestling, I'm working on gear. And that's cool. I don't have any issues with that. I'd love to get to the point where I don't have to work a regular job. I can just do gear and wrestling. But, until then, I'll just keep working my butt off, trying to make awesome gear for people.
At the pace you're going, you're going to have to change the name of the company to Juggernauts by Kongo Kong.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Juggernauts by
Osiris
Kong.
is my idea, so he'll always be a part of me no matter what.
And so, can you also tell our listeners about the school that you work with up in Fort Wayne?
Yes, Heroes and Legends Wrestling, has Body Slam University. This is, the spot I believe that, you'd want to come to if you want to train, if you're in the Midwest area or not in the Midwest area. There's a lot of wrestling schools that will take you through let's say a 6-month long course or whatever and just be done with you and kind of send you out on your own. Whereas at Body Slam University, we like to make sure that you're thoroughly trained. Like it's not a this is it type thing. This is an ongoing process. Even 16 years into the business, I'm still learning myself and I'm still, doing my best to be a student of the game. So that type of stuff I'd like to pass on to the younger group. And we have some guys that are doing a phenomenal job, going around the independent circuit right now that are from Body Slam University.
Well, I know one of my favorite graduates from Body Slam University is Mark Vandy, and he's going to be taking on Savio Vega at Heroes and Legends on September 13th. You've made his gear in the past, and I remember last year he posted like where people could vote on 4 different which of the 4 trunks that he should wear. Any spoiler alert on what trunks he'll be wearing this year to face Savio Vega?
I'm sure
You
they'll
know,
be ginger.
he hasn't mentioned anything to me yet about any sort of design, and with me being as backed up as I am, it's going to be kind of rough to try to fit those in, but I'm going to do what I can. And I may just throw some at him, and who knows, he could come out there and something completely random. It's happened before.
How about on his back it says www.theundisputedwrestlingshow.weebly.com. Can we make that happen in the next
Oh, I
couple of
love
weeks?
that idea.
Wow, that's a lot of letters.
That's a lot of
Uh,
letters, but you're a talented man. You can make it work.
I could. Who's got time?
Speaking of the Undisputed Wrestling Show, this is the Undisputed Wrestling Show. We are brought to you by Heroes and Legends Wrestling number 4 in Fort Wayne, Indiana, Saturday, September 13th at the Fort Wayne Fundome at 2 o'clock p.m. We are talking to the almighty, awesome Kongo Kong, who shows love for Fort Wayne, but when are you going to show some love to Indianapolis? We haven't seen you down here for when, Zane?
I'm not sure when the last time
I
I
don't
know.
either.
Hmm.
Kongo?
That's a good question. Actually, I was planning to stop at WCWO the weekend of Heroes and Legends. I actually have a buddy of mine from Montreal who wants to come down and do like a little mini tour of the States. And I had it in mind to go do an IWA show. Of course, there's some issues going on with the promoter's health. So those got postponed. So the other option would be for Friday night to go see Don Basher.
Let's say
And,
Mr. Basher.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, let me know if that goes through, because we'll definitely go see you there before we make the trip to Fort Wayne.
All right. Yeah, that sounds like a winner.
Well, that's what one of the things that I love about Heroes and Legends that we haven't brought up is that they do share spotlight with other promotions in the state and really all across the country, where they bring in other promotions to have an event on the card or have a couple matches on the card. So that's one of the things that I really like about the event, and that really shows you that the owner of Heroes and Legends Wrestling, Jason Maples, it's not just in it to show the fans a great time and have them come to his event. He's trying to spread the love to pro wrestling in the Midwest and especially in Indiana.
Absolutely. Yeah, Jason is a really good guy. Has a really big heart. Really has a deep love for wrestling. And just I think he wants the fans to benefit the most. And then, he wants to help out the young guys by putting them in positions to get them seen, I would say. Because a lot of these guys, the older guys, they still have connections and whatnot. You never know who might see you and say, hey, I think I can help you out.
The really cool thing about Jason that I really respect him for is that he believes in wrestling. I mean, he loves professional wrestling. You get a lot of younger promoters that come out and they think the first thing they got to do is annihilate their competition. Jason embraces the competition. He doesn't go. He's got the clout. He could go in and squash people if he wanted to, but he doesn't do that. He builds up other promotions, and we all can live and love and share wrestling together. That's the cool thing about Maples.
Yeah, there's no reason to have any kind of hate. Like, just because you hate a certain federation from a certain area doesn't mean that if you figure out a way to get rid of them, doesn't mean those fans are going to come see your show, any quicker, I guess. If we build up wrestling together as a whole, if we put aside our differences and try to work together, then we'll achieve more. Team.
Let alone the wrestlers will have more opportunities to work.
Absolutely. Not all the same guys would be on the same shows, I don't think. Like, we seem to have a problem with, there's certain feds that you go to and you see the same wrestlers that you saw at the last town. And, if we have more places for people to work and everything, everybody's working together and not, backstabbing each other or anything, then, it would create, like you said, more opportunity. And then we'd have those towns where, you get to see this card and it'd be completely separate from card B.
You know what, Zane? I think we should do, Zane?
What's that?
Have Kongo design a new Undisputed Wrestling show logo.
I don't know if I can afford that. I think it's a great idea, though. So, Steve, out of the guys that are going to be the legends that are going to be at this show, is there anybody that your inner 12-year-old Mark is really looking forward to meeting if you haven't met them before?
It would have to be Orndorff.
Yeah, Steve, Orndorff's canceled.
What?
The vendor who's bringing him in canceled the show.
Well, damn.
Yeah, that's my feeling as well, because I was really looking forward to that one too.
What about your brother in paint, Kevin Sullivan? He used to rock the face paint. Sabu, you probably worked with him. He works around a lot.
I know Sabu.
Yeah.
You think?
No, seriously. Like I feel like I'm pretty fortunate to have worked with a lot of those guys. Just going different places and meeting these people, that like I said, I grew up watching. It's a crazy thing. And then I get to see them all over the place. And, I was at a show recently and I was with all my students and, Demolition Axe comes up to me, Bill Eady, and says, "Hey, buddy." And everybody's looking at me and I look at him. I go, "Yeah, you guys see that half of the greatest tag team of all time knows who I am."
And Zane will concur with that, right, Zane?
Oh, I'm a huge Demolition fan.
Yeah.
Huge. Oh, how about this guy? And I know that Rick is really looking forward to meeting him. Ox Baker, the master of the heart punch.
Ox Baker, that's right. Ox Baker will be there as well.
Right. Yeah.
You had a chance to meet the Ox yet?
No, I have not. But like I said, this is where you see all those obscure names that you don't get to see at your everyday indie shows.
All right. Before we let you go, Kongo, what words of encouragement or love that you would like to spread to your fans out there before we part ways with you for the evening?
I would just like to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Without you all, I would be nothing but a giant guy in spandex dancing around with another giant guy. Like really, like honestly, you guys have made all my dreams come true. If I never set foot in a WWE ring, or, even if I never make it overseas to Japan, which I would absolutely love to do, or England or anything, I feel as if, I have, fulfillment, I guess, in the things that I've been able to do so far. This ride has been incredible, and I'm enjoying it. I've enjoyed it, and I'm still enjoying it. And I look forward to meeting all you guys and smiling and taking pictures. And yeah, I'm a bad guy, but if you see me somewhere and you want a picture, I would be more than happy to put my hands around your neck and stick my tongue out and take that picture with you.
Kongo Kong, Zane, and I will see you in a couple weeks, buddy.
All right, brother.
We thank you once again, as always, for coming on the show, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Thanks for having me.